What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Fuck, dude. Gotta calm down. I'll make this super fast. It's late at night. That's why I'm fucking pissed off. I'm like, fuck, dude. Why did I do this, bruh? Why? But think about it. Okay? So skills success. Learn faster, train like the fucking best, and become fucking extraordinary at fucking anything. We left off right here. Feedback is fuel for growth. I'm fucking talking so fucking quiet. That's why I'm pissed off. This is my fucking fault. Okay, bro? So, literally, bro. Okay, I gotta calm down, dude. Okay, so. See. Boom. Okay. So, feedback is fuel for growth. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. That's how we fucking improve. Bill Gates. China in the 2012 London Olympics won 6 out of 8 possible gold medals in the sport of diving. 4 years later, the 2016 Rio Olympics, they came back and won gold in 7 out of 8 diving events. On top of that, Chinese diver Wu Mingxia became the first athlete to win the same diving event 4 times. What the Chinese diving team achieving the sport of diving is nothing short of extraordinary. Very few individuals or teams dominate any sport to this extent, making it a great place to model for insights. So how can we tap into this level of extreme achievement in our lives? What is it that they do differently that allows them to achieve these extraordinary results? They're fucking powerful questions. And most importantly, what can we learn from the Chinese diving team to optimize our own learning and skill development? In order for us to find these answers, we must dive deeper into the rituals and routines of the Chinese diving team. A typical training dive looks like this. Okay, so they go up to the diving board, become the dive, and perform the dive. Often a very basic dive. They focus on mastering the foundations. They get out of the pool and instantly get feedback, constructive criticism from a coach about what they can do better next time. They then walk over to a TV screen and proceed to watch a replay of the dive they just performed to get a second layer of feedback from themselves. Let's dig into why this is so impactful. The core of it is something called feedback. Not the type of feedback we talked about in the chapter about feedback loops. This is similar, yet different. Feedback loops are what your brain uses to accumulate distinctions. It's the internal workings of the brain, while the type of feedback we're about to talk about is plain and simple, getting a list of things to improve next time, often labeled as constructive criticism. It's often about the things that we may not know, that we may not want to hear, but should hear to really get to the next level of what we do. And while most people avoid feedback or receive it very rarely, the Chinese diving team have structured their diving team to give 1 consistent and 2 multi-layered feedback for each and every dive a diver performs. First, they receive feedback from the coach. We'll discuss the value of coaching in the later chapter. Second, they watch a replay of their dive on the TV screen, which allows the diver to give themselves further feedback, constructive criticism about what they can do better. Most people rarely get feedback, while the Chinese diving team are rigorous, consistent, and adamant about it, more so than pretty much any other training team in the world. And because of years of training, this feedback structure has conditioned members of the Chinese diving team to love feedback, as it leads to higher levels of skill. Just like Sarah Blakely's father helped her condition to love failure, the Chinese training structure has helped these Chinese divers condition a love and respect for feedback. Fall in love with feedback. Hey bro, dude, you fucking, the way you did that shit was like, shit, dude. That's good. Fucking whatever someone tells you, like, hey, bro, I think you could do better a little bit in this kind of way. Okay, thank you, bro. Thank you. Fuck it, don't get pissed off, dude. Yeah, fuck you, motherfucker. Oh my God. Shut the fuck up. Nah, nigga. So instead of avoiding feedback or taking it personally, fall in love with it and use it as insight into your future improvement. Feedback can come in many forms: a suggestion from a coworker, a complaint from a customer, advice from a boss or mentor, amongst other sources. Your role is to, no matter where you receive the feedback from, find ways you can improve it to improve what you do. And know that simply accepting feedback is when it's given to you, it's not the same thing as falling in love with it. Boom. Accepting feedback when it's given, it's not the same thing as falling in love with it. Fucking fall in love with it. The fuck am I doing, dude? I'm just fucking trying to go to sleep, nigga. Even though I don't like sleep. Fuck sleep. But I still gotta sleep to at least get some fucking rest. Rest. Okay. Your role is to, no matter where you receive that feedback from, find ways you can use it to improve what you do. Falling in love with feedback is about you going out there and actively seeking and asking for feedback. It's a mindset. Actively seeking and asking for feedback. It's a fucking mindset. It's all about your willingness to constantly ask your friends, family, mentors, coaches, and teachers for feedback. Constantly ask them, what can I do better? What can I do better, bro? Okay. Fuck, nigga. Okay, we got like 2 more pages. Oh, fuck. My back. Okay. It comes from an optimization mindset, as we talked about in the last chapter, but manifests itself as a question to others rather than a personal thought process. David Copperfield, one of the world's greatest illusionists, has an insatiable desire for feedback. He would perform magic tricks for everyone around him and ask for feedback from them, all about what we could do better with a trick. At one time, he couldn't find anybody else, so he asked the janitor to give him feedback. David Copperfield, very early on, fell in love with feedback, and it helped him master his craft. And feedback can help you learn anything many times faster, but you have to be willing to seek it. As you read this, odds are this makes a lot of sense, and you can see how getting more constructive criticism can help you learn faster. But what stops many people is fear. People are fucking be fucking scared. You're gonna learn something from it, bro. Duh. Often we know that the right things to do, but we fear them. Our ego or self-pride can get in the way, or sometimes we don't ask for feedback, although we know they should. It's the reason we don't ask the staff at the gym for feedback on our workout technique. Why we don't ask fellow players on the team for feedback how we can get better, or why an aspiring artist doesn't ask for feedback from this teacher of the fucking art class. It's because hearing what we've done badly, even if it's said in a nice way, can at first be hard to take. However, I assure you, like any habit, it gets easier over time. It's why we must push through the initial resistance to get to the other side, where feedback becomes a way of life. We must be courageous, willing to hear what we should have done better, knowing that feedback is fuel for growth. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm telling you, bro. Feedback is fuel for growth. The first step is to begin asking. Set an intention to ask people for feedback as often as you can. At the beginning of the day, tell yourself, I'm going to ask for some type of feedback in 5 times today, and don't go to sleep until you have. The next step is to, just like the Chinese diving team, begin to structure feedback in your skill development, as we'll talk about in the next chapter. You can leverage the power of coaching or just create great systems and procedures to ensure you get feedback every time, no matter what. Lastly, surround yourself with people who are willing to tell you the brutal truth, even if you may not like it. Damn, I have a friend like that, bro. I have a friend like that. He just tells me the fucking truth. Fucking love it. Often people ask the wrong people for feedback. People ask the wrong people for feedback. They ask people who are likely to say something like, "No, I don't have any feedback. You're doing great. You're perfect. Keep being awesome." This is great encouragement, which is important for other reasons, but it doesn't help you to get that feedback, the fuel for growth that you need to progress and get better. It may make you feel good in the short term, but in the long term, it only slows you down. It slows down your learning and limits your true potential. You have to find people who are willing to tell you the brutal truth that you need to hear. And sometimes the best feedback you'll ever get is from people who don't like you. I found this quote very fascinating, especially when it comes to feedback. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Your competitors, your rivals, or your haters are often great sources of feedback, but only if you're able to take that emotion out of what they say and treat it simply as feedback. From sources like these, the feedback is often covered by tons of dirt and hate, and it's your job to really dig deep to find the nuggets of insight in what they're saying. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Damn, fucking shit. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Someone who doesn't like you may say you're never going to achieve anything because you're so lazy, and you have to interpret that you should be more disciplined. And when it comes to uncovering the things you should improve, it's best to think of this like a stolen credit card. If your credit card was stolen, when would you rather hear about it? Straight away, so you can do something, or in 2 weeks after the thief has spent all your money? Personally, I would prefer to find things that I am doing wrong through feedback as soon as possible. Another example, let's say that you're a professional diver on the Chinese diving team. When would you rather find out that you are making a mistake in your dive? Before or after the big competition? Before, right? My bets are you would rather before, so you can improve as soon as possible before the competition. Feedback accelerates growth. Feedback accelerates growth. Feedback accelerates growth. Fuck. The faster you can get feedback, the faster you can make improvements and become more skilled at what you do. I'm like fucking whispering. Like, I feel like I'm being loud, but at the same time I'm like whispering. Like, kind of, you know what I'm saying? 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 That's how the Chinese diving team, just like so many of the world's highest achieving teams, think about learning, skill development, peak performance, failure, and feedback. They think very differently. And it's the combination of love, the love of failure, as discussed previously, and love of feedback that gives you huge fucking edge. But let's take it to an even higher level with another insight from the hugely dominant Chinese diving team. Imagine you're standing on the edge of the diving board, and the other team members are watching you eagerly as you attempt to dive that's never successfully landed. You look down, you see the water below you, you can feel the fear, but you do the dive anyway. You start twisting and turning in the air, performing this dive that has never been successfully landed before, and smash, you mislanded. You start to think about, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Or maybe this dive is just too hard to complete. However, as you get out of the water, everyone is cheering and applauding you. You get out to a complete round of applause from the other diving team members, which inevitably makes you smile as you stand there with everybody clapping and celebrating your significant failure. This is how the Chinese team react whenever any diver attempts a new dive or does something outside the realm of current possibility. They celebrate significant failures. They celebrate significant failures. What what they're doing is encouraging their divers to go for it and push themselves to go for the seemingly impossible. What this rather unconventional practice is doing is actually inspiring courage, which makes it very powerful. It makes the divers far more likely to push themselves and go for it again next time. They support them to view failure and feedback as huge positives. They train mindset. Once again, imagine how different society would be if these views, ways of thinking, were the norm, not the exception. How different would lives be? That's how I want to create. That's what I want to create. Damn, celebrate significant failures. Strive to get as much feedback from anyone. Have your friends close. Keep your enemies closer. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer. Damn. That was my takeaways. So, I'll see you on the next subtitle. Boom. Yeah. Alright, peace out, y'all. Wake the fuck up.